Good afternoon and welcome to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher and we're at Lars Anderson Field in Irene as the Tanagers get ready to take on the Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin Eagles. Vermillion coming off a couple of nice wins, but especially that win over Scotland Menno was really nice for this Tanager team. And they are currently sitting third in Region 1 in the standings, right behind, right behind Parkston Ethan and right behind Elk Point Jefferson. Vermillion has fallen to both of those teams earlier this season, but in very close matchups. So let's take a look at that. As Vermillion fell to, there are 3 losses on the season. They're to Tri-Valley, and then to open the season, they lost 3-1. They then defeated Wagner, Andy Central Avon 10-1, defeated Beersford Alcester Hudson 11-6, defeated Parker 12-2, defeated Bonholm 5-2, and defeated Centerville Viborg Hurley 16-5. They then, after a delay from Lennox, or a postponement, they fell to Parkston Ethan on April 26th by a score of 2-1. Then the next day they fell to Elk Point Jefferson. No, 2 days later, fell to Elk Point Jefferson in extra innings, 6-3. Now, EPJ was able to score 3 runs in the top of the 9th. Vermillion ended up loading the bases with a nice attempt at a rally, but fell just short, could not get any runs across. And then they turned around and defeated Canastota Freeman, who's 7-4 on the season. Defeated Baltic 14-0. Defeated Dakota Valley in a nice matchup, pitching matchup 1-0 in Dakota Valley, and then turned around and defeated Canton 15-3. And then over the weekend defeated Scotland Menno 10-0. That brings you to tonight against Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin. Now, Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin, well, they've been having a rough first season. They have yet to win a game, but they did. They're not without any offense. They are scoring some runs. So should be a good matchup tonight. We'll see how that goes. Again, this is Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. When we come back, hopefully we'll have some starting lineups. I have Irene-Wakonda's, and I'll take a look at Gayville or Vermillion's. And we'll be back shortly. This is Vermillion Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Children's Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years for a reason. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
Welcome back to the Carlson's Body Shop pregame show. This is Vermillion Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we are at Lars Anderson Field in Irene, South Dakota. Now, we'll be here later again this year, as we will be bringing you some Irene Cardinals baseball as we continue our coverage of South Central League baseball this year. We're looking forward to that. And so I am working on the starting lineup here. Leading off and playing third base for Irene-Wakonda is number 14, Noah Hansen. Batting second and playing left field, number 33, Ethan Richard. Batting third and catching, number 9, Elliot Jorgensen. Batting cleanup, playing first, number 7, Caden Ganschow. Batting fifth and playing second, number 2, Brody Jonke. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 20, Jet Kukta. Batting seventh and playing right field, number 1, Kak. Not quite sure. It was a handwritten, replacing Tim Pacheco. And then at shortstop, number 11, Caden Wary. And then batting ninth and DHing, number 17, Jeremiah Gustad. So it's Hansen, Richard, Jorgensen, Ganschow, Jonke, and Kukta, Kak, Wary, and Gustad. And we are starting, I think we're starting lineups.
For the Vermillion Tanagers.
For Vermillion starting lineup.
Number 8, Nolan Nygren.
Nolan Nygren leading off.
Number 5, Michael Rube.
Michael Robe batting second. Connor Peterson batting third. Batting fourth and playing second base, Trey Hansen.
Number 7, Jack.
Batting fifth is Jack Moskowitz. Batting sixth will be number 12, catcher Tate Haig. Batting seventh and number 35 playing third, Carter Hansen, or maybe pitching, not quite sure. Batting eighth, number 4, Hayden Christofferson. And batting ninth, number 15, Carson Preister. So again, it'll be Nygren, Robe, Peterson, Hansen, Moskowitz, and Haig. And then Hansen, Christofferson, and Moskowitz. So that's your usual lineup for Vermillion. We'll make sure we have pronunciations here. So playing third, leading off, number 14, Noah Hansen. Ethan Richard playing left field, batting second.
Catcher, number 9, Elliot Jorgensen.
Catching, batting third, number 9, Elliot Jorgensen.
Playing first base, number 7, Caden Ganschow.
Batting first base, playing number 7, Caden Ganschow. Broden Jonke batting second, or playing second. Jeff Cookta playing center field and batting sixth.
Number playing right field, number 11, Isaac Kruger.
Number one, Isaac Kruger.
Number 11, Caden Weary.
Then Caden Weary batting, playing short.
And designated hitter, number 17, Jeremiah Gustad.
And then Jeremiah Gustad, designated hitter, batting ninth.
Now please stand, face
We're
the
going
flag out in center field.
to pause for the national anthem.
Marin Lingstead sings our national anthem.
American flag is in center field. So give me a second.
Irene-Wakonda Eagle coaches, Byron Richard, Shannon Nelson, Connor Ganshaw. Also for concessions.
All right. Well, we're going to pull up the Masaba scoreboard. That'll be in your lower right-hand corner. I'll keep it there today. I was told that when I'm in Vermillion that it's blocking the first baseline. Hopefully this will be a little bit better for us. And so we'll do that. But yeah, Vermillion will bat first and then be out in the field. And so Irene-Wakonda with their white pants, black jerseys, kind of with white sleeves or blue sleeves and white letters and numbers with blue trim. Vermillion with white pants, black jerseys with red numbers and letters with white trim. Again, Vermillion 10-3, really looking solid this season. Really on a good streak right now of some solid baseball. So you have to be excited if you're a Vermillion fan. And so that'll be good. This Tanger team next week, you start looking at some region ball, and so that should be interesting. I think this Tanger team really has a good chance to make a dent and make it to state, because they are a quality squad with pitching, defense, hitting. And again, I've said it repeatedly, the top of this order might be as fast as any lineup out there, with Nolan Nygren, Mikey Robe, and Connor Peterson leading off for this team. You always have a chance to get on the board first, and that is important in this day and age. So, again, batting this inning will be Nolan Nygren, Mikey Robe, and Connor Peterson. Connor, he will be heading to Mount Marty to play baseball in the fall. Or, well, fall baseball, spring baseball, all of it. He'll be heading to Mount Marty for all of it.
Southeast Ag with Dallas Hansen and Aaron Nelson. Healy Seminole, Vogue Hay Company. Farmers Union Insurance, Brian and Brendan Hansen. Merchant State Bank, Nelson Neurology, and Meadowlark Acres.
So there's the first pitch hit by Nygren just under the glove of the third baseman, and that will be a single for Nolan Nygren, as Jeremiah Gustad not only the DH but also pitching. So one batter, one hit for Vermillion. Runner on first now. Like I said, Nygren loves to run, and so that'll bring up Mikey Robe. He's not offering positions, so we'll see when they get out into the field. But here's the first pitch to Robe from Gustad. That is high, ball one. And on deck is, I'm just going to say shortstop Connor Peterson, because that is where Connor Peterson plays. So here's it's the second pitch from Gustad. That is low and out of the zone, 2-0. Two and 0 count. Nygren with a little bit of a lead. Swing and a miss. Took a little bit off that one. And so it's now 2-1. So here's the 2-1 pitch from Gustad to Robe. That's laced into left center field, and that's going to reach the fence. Nygren rounds second. He'll round third. Robe heading to second, and he will pull up with a stand-up double. But Nygren comes around to score. That is the benefit of that speed. And so 2 hits to start this first inning for the Tanagers. Puts a run on the board, and that brings up Connor Peterson. On deck is Trey Hansen. Swing and a miss. Strike one, 0-1. That pitches ball, evens the count at 1-1. Again, Peterson, leading pass catcher on the football team in the fall. His dad, Chad, called some games with us last season. That ball is lifted high into center field, coming in and making the catch. Tagging is Robe. Robe will make it to third. That was deep enough. But a nice job by Kukta to make the play. So that'll be a sacrifice for Connor Peterson, as Robe is now on third with 1 down here in the top half of the first inning. Brings up Jack Moskowitz. First pitch lifted high into deep left field. Should be caught. Oh, no, it is not. That will be an error on the... I'm sorry, that was Trey Hansen, not Jack Moskowitz. I apologize. That will be a 2-base error on the left fielder. Hansen now at second as Robe comes to score. So Jack Moskowitz comes up. On deck is catcher Tate Haig. First pitch skied over to short for a 1 out. So that is the second out of the inning. That brings up catcher Tate Haig. So Gustad looks in. That pitch is low. Ball 1-0 to Tate Haig. On deck is number 35, third base. Well, Carter Hansen, I say third baseman, but he might be pitching. Almost looked like him in the bullpen. Second pitch to Haig is fouled off. 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball is high. 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 on and 2 out here in the top half of the first. Vermillion has plated 2 runs. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that is high. 3-1 to Tate Haig. Again, on deck is Carter Hansen. And that is ball 4. Haig will be aboard. Now runners at first and second. Brings up Carter Hansen. On deck, Hayden Christofferson. Corbin Heckens will be coming in to run for Tate Haig. That pitch grounded, between short and third. Hansen rounds third, and that will be an RBI single for Carter Hansen. On 3 hits this inning, Vermillion has 3 runs. So that brings up Hayden Christofferson. And again, so many of these players play multiple positions, I can't just make the assumption. So we'll see when they do get out into the defense how that turns out. Ooh, somebody's got a hot dog there. That's in for a strike, 0-1. That pitch is high. Here's a run down to third. Nope, not in time. So Hecken's at third. Hansen still at first. Count is 1-1. Pitch is low and in the dirt. Hansen will advance to second with no throw. So now runners at second and third. Count is 2-1 to Hayden Christofferson. Gustad comes home. That is grounded straight up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop. Picks it up quickly over to first for the third out of the inning. A nice 6-3 putout. But in the inning, Vermillion does score 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. At the end of half an inning, it's Vermillion 3, Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin nothing. They're half of the first coming up after these messages. This is Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with the work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion. Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete, and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Here's the first pitch from Carter Hansen to Noah Hansen, fielded by Connor Peterson over to first, and they do get him by about a step. But Noah Hansen, a quick player down the line. So Vermillion lucky to get that first out, almost an infield single, but 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the first. So Carter winds and delivers. That one is outside, 1-0. Just outside, 2-0. On deck is catcher Elliot Jorgensen. At bat is Ethan Richard. Here's the third pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 2-1. Hey, just a reminder on ESPN Radio tonight at 8 o'clock, 8:30 tip-off. It's the Timberwolves and Warriors. Game 4, swing and a miss, evens the count at 2-2. Had me this morning on At the Mic. That ball is fouled off. Count remains 2-2. We'll replay that tomorrow morning, see how today's predictions came out. Also tomorrow morning on At the Mic, our Coyote Conversations with Mason Sindelar and Trey Young of USD Track and Field. Oh, and he went. He tried to catch himself, but he couldn't, so that's a strikeout for Carter Hansen. 2 up, 2 down so far in the first. Brings up catcher Elliot Jorgensen. On deck is first baseman Caden Ganschow. Defensively for Vermillion, Tate Haig catching, Carter Hansen. Jack Moskowitz at first, Trey Hansen at second, Connor Peterson at short, and Hayden Christofferson at third. I believe it's Carson Preister in left, Mikey Robe out in center, and Nolan Nygren in right field. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. That one's in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1 on Jorgensen. That pitch lifted high, but foul and out of play. It actually hits the light pole, a la the natural, but not for a home run. 1-2 is the count. Ball 2, 2-2. That ball is foul down the left field line. We'll do it again, even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom half of the third inning. Catcher Elliot Jorgensen on up to bat. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. At the end of 1, it's Vermillion 3. Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin nothing on the Masaba scoreboard. We'll be back after this Murph's Appliance timeout. This is Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
This is your invitation to thrive in Yankton, South Dakota. Nestled on the bluffs of the Missouri River, plenty of outdoor adventures are waiting. Whether you work remote or in a traditional office, we have a spot for you. Quality health care, diverse manufacturing, progressive school system, Mount Marty University, and so much more. Explore with family and friends. Let's thrive together.
Starting the first bank in South Dakota was the easy part, earning the confidence of local farmers, helping families account for their dreams, and securing the future for countless businesses took us a little longer. We owe it to the hard workers, big dreamers, and forward thinkers out there. Thank you for making South Dakota a great place to call home.
If you want somebody to come into your home and fix everything right the first time, look professional, act professional, treat you with respect, you gotta call Kaylin's. When they come in, I feel that they want to be there. I feel that they want to help me.
You know, they put on the little booties over their shoes. They had canvas from the garage door all the way down to walk on. They left the furnace room in the basement probably cleaner than it was when they came in.
They just do customer service very well. I would recommend Kaylin's to anyone.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we head into the second inning with Vermillion leading 3-0. Next inning facing Jeremiah Gustad will be Carson Preister, Nolan Nygren, and Mikey Robe. First pitch to Carson is a ball, 1-0. Vermillion 3-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. Now 2-0 on Carson. Just a reminder, we'll also be carrying Minnesota Lynx basketball this season. Game 1 on Friday. That's in for a strike. 2-1. So again, Mike, tomorrow morning, the leading pole vaulter in Summit League right now. That is lifted into deep center field. Coming in and making the catch is center fielder Jeff Kukta. So that's 1 up, 1 down here in the top half of the second. That brings up Nolan Nygren, right fielder. He singled and scored his last time up. Mikey Robe, center fielder, is on deck. So Preister made nice contact, unable to get a hit though. First pitch to Nygren, in for a ball, 1-0. That pitch fouled back. So the count on Nygren is 3-2. Full count. On deck again, center fielder Mikey Robe. Gustad looks in. The left-hander comes set, comes home, and that will be ball 4. Nygren is aboard with 1 down, and again, I mentioned the speed. Once you get Nygren, he will be moving. So here is Gustad going back to the rubber. Mikey Robe steps in. Pitch is in the dirt just a little bit. Nygren does not move, though. 1-0. Oh, Nygren caught off first. Here's a throw down to second, and that is in time to get him. Nice play. That is a 1-3-6 put out for the second out of the inning. So now the bases are empty for Mikey Robe. 1-0 now with 2 down. Fouled off. 1-1. Ball bounces in the dirt and just in front of the plate. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Gustad. That's lifted high in between left and center field. No! That is a home run for Mikey Robe. Touch them all. Mikey Robe. Oh, home run for number 5, making it 4-0 in favor of Vermillion here in the top half of the second inning. Mikey Robe scores his second run of the game. And that will bring up shortstop Connor Peterson, who sacrificed his first time up. So no official plate appearances. So Connor Peterson steps up. He'll be playing baseball at Mount Marty next year. Here's the first pitch from Gustad. Outside, ball 1, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. There's the 6 o'clock whistle. Pitches out of the zone, 3-0. So 3 balls, no strikes. That's in for a strike, 3-1. Pitch is fouled back, out of play. Full count, 3-2. So payoff pitch coming up. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Nobody on here in the top half of the second. Vermillion leading now 4-0. That is ball 4. Connor Peterson now aboard. That'll bring up second baseman Trey Hansen, who reached on an error in left field. Jack Moskowitz on deck. That pitch is high. Trey Hansen ducks out of the way. 1-0. Peterson takes his lead off of first. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1. Ball's in the dirt. Not far enough away, though. Nice job there by Jorgensen to block that. 2-1 now. They're going to take a timeout. Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin wants to talk to the pitcher, so we'll be back right after these messages. This is Tanager Soft Baseball, brought to you by First.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Candice Couture is your complete women's lingerie shop. Bras, underwear, PJs, loungewear, swimwear, sports bras, activewear, and much, much more. Small to 3 extra large and over 200 different sizes of bras. AA to O cup bands, 28 to 56 in store. Candice Couture, 17 West Main Street.
Welcome back to Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. That timeout brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. All right, with 2 down, Connor Peterson on first. Count is 2-1 on Trey Hansen. Gustad looks in, comes home, and that is outside. 3-1. And that ball gets past the catcher, and Connor Peterson will be down to second. Oh. That was ball 4. Sorry, I apologize. So now runners on first and second for Jack Moskowitz. Here's the first pitch from Gustad. Lifted into deep center field. Center fielder camping underneath and making the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning for Vermillion, 1 run on 1 hit. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors. 2 runners left on base. At the end of an inning and a half, it is Vermillion 4. Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin nothing. We'll be back after these messages on Vermillion Tanagers YouTube. This is Tanagers Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Slumberland Furniture in Yankton, the place to shop for your next new mattress. Find brands like Stearns & Foster, Nectar, and the hottest selling mattress, Purple, measured for your comfort and a dream-laden night's sleep. There's the new Adapt by Tempur-Pedic as well. Slumberland Furniture has Flex Steel furniture too. comfy and classy. That's Slumberland Furniture, 2401 Broadway, Yankton. Todd's Electric, your full-service electrical contracting company. Todd's Electric services residential, commercial, agricultural, and industrial customers. From the simplest service call to the most complex design build project, Todd's Electric has the expertise to do it right. Call Todd's Electric for all your electrical needs. Todd's Electric, helping you control all things electric. Except for lightning. Todd's Electric. Go Tanagers.
Welcome back to Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 4-0. If you're interested, if you're a Gayville-Volin fan or a softball fan, Gayville-Volin defeated Avon 11-1 in 5 innings today in softball. Here's the first pitch from Carter Hansen. That is high for Caden Ganschow. It'll be Ganschow, Jonke, and Kukta this inning for Irene-Wakonda. Ball. That ball laced over to Trey Hansen. Fielded, bobbled. Quick throw over to first. Ooh, just in time to get Ganschow. Nice play and recovery by Trey Hansen, but man, Ganschow had some speed going down that first baseline. First out of the inning, 1 up, 1 down, brings up second baseman Brody Jonke. Here's the first pitch from Carter. Lifted high down the left field line, but that will be foul. Quickly 0-1. So Jonke sets back in. Chopped foul down the third baseline, 0-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is Carter Hansen's third strikeout of the game. Second out of the inning. That brings up center fielder Jet Kukta. On deck, right fielder Isaac Kruger. Carter's first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. That's lifted down the right field line. Going back is Nygren, and that is fair. That will reach the fence. And Kukta pulls into second with a stand-up double. So that is Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin's first hit. That brings up right fielder Isaac Kruger. Now with 2 down here in the inning. First pitch fouled off, 0-1. On deck is shortstop Caden Weary. That ball lifted into right field. Nygren comes in on that one, makes the catch. And so in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2, it's Vermillion 4, Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin nothing. We'll be back with the top of the third after these messages. This is Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Wanting a specialist without leaving town? We've got you covered. Our clinic offers specialists for the health and wellness of your family. From pediatricians to OBGYNs, plus primary care. You can find it all at Vermillion Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
If you're looking for the perfect fit, Vermillion Vision Care Associates fits like the right pair of glasses. Vision Care Associates has its roots in family eye care, and the doctors are well known for being primary eye care providers. With the ability to treat and diagnose a variety of settings, Vermillion Vision Care Associates is the right fit for you. Plus, they can fit you into a new pair of glasses, sunglasses, or contacts that feel just right. With continuing education, see the best doctors at Vermillion Vision Care Associates.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. On the Masaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 4-0 as we head into the top of the third. Leading off this inning for Vermillion will be first baseman Jack Moskowitz, followed by catcher Tate Haig, and pitcher Carter Hansen. I'm good, but thank you. All right, so they're finishing up their warm-up tosses out there for Irene-Wakonda. Again, Vermillion looking to about their fourth win in a row. They've had a nice streak going and looking to improve their positioning in the Region 1 of South Dakota High School baseball. Again, Vermillion, oops. 10-3 on the season for the Tanagers. They've won 5 in a row. This would be win number 6 if they're able to pull out today. And continuing and improving their position as they are currently in third in Region 1 behind EPJ and Parkston Jefferson. So Tate Haig leads off here against Jeremiah Gustad. That first pitch is a ball, 1-0. That pitch is lifted in the fence for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top half of the third inning. Pitch is lifted high into right field, gliding over. Now coming in and making the catch is Isaac Kruger. So 2 up, 2 down here in the third inning. That brings up third baseman Hayden Christofferson. Christofferson grounded out to short to close out the first inning. First pitch to Christofferson, in for a strike, 0-1. On deck, left fielder Carson Preister. That ball's laced down the third baseline and just under the third baseman's glove. So that is a single for Hayden Christofferson. 5th hit of the game for the Tanagers. Puts a runner on first. Brings up left fielder Carson Preister. So Hayden Christofferson at third base. Carson Preister up. Nolan Nygren, right fielder, leadoff hitter, is on deck. Gustad winds and delivers, and that one is high. Christofferson stays, though. 1-0. There's a nice move over to first. Christofferson down to second. He is in there in time under the tag. That is a stolen base for Hayden Christofferson. But, man, this move of Gustad's is getting Vermillion, as that is the second player that's been caught running. That pitch is high, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes. Christofferson gets lead at second. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 2-1. That ball is high and out of the zone. 3-1. So Christofferson takes his lead off a second. That is high. Ball 4 puts Preister on first. So suddenly runners on first and second here in the top half of the third inning. Brings up the right fielder, Nolan Nygren. Nygren has walked and singled today. Just heard that Chislik is ready. You can smell it. It is good. There's a throw over to second, and that will be the third out of the inning. In the inning, no runs, one hit, no errors, one runner left, two runners left on base. At the end of 2.5, it is Vermillion 4, Irene-Wakonda nothing. We'll be back with the Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin half of the third. After these messages, this is Vermillion Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Whether you're in the market to purchase a new home for your family, you want to sell your existing home, or you're a student looking to rent an apartment, Dakota Realty and Property Management can fit your needs. Being locally owned and with over 150 years of combined experience, they are the experts at helping you find your new home. Go to Dakota Realty and Property Management because they like what they do. Dakota Realty is a proud supporter of Vermillion Athletics. Dakota Realty and Property Management, located at 125 East Cherry Street, Vermillion.
Remember the Perks card from Pump and Pack? Well, guess what? There's an addition, not just a card, it's an app. The Pump and Perks app and the Pump and Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion. Just go to their Facebook page, Pump and Pack, and scan the QR code and you're in. Or go to the store, Pump and Pack, and get the card. Then download the app. Each one does the same thing. Like give you 5 cents off per gallon every day, except for Sunday, it's doubled with the Perks card from Pump and Pack, Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. After 2.5 innings, it is Vermillion 4. Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin's half of the third coming up with Caden Weary, Jeremiah Gustad, and then the top of the order, and Noah Hansen. First pitch is fouled off, 0-1. Tate Haig, Carter Hansen, just making sure they have their signals straight. Again, Vermillion on the Masaba scoreboard leads 4-0. This time out brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. So no balls, one strike. Hansen winds and delivers. Ooh, high and inside, 1-1. That's in for a strike, 1-2. Nice job by Tate Haig, making sure to frame those well. Catching the outside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, count remains 1-2. We are at Lars Anderson Field in Irene, South Dakota. We'll be here again later in a few weeks for some Irene Cardinals baseball, as they'll be hosting a doubleheader on a Sunday. That pitch is in for a called strike 3. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the third. That is Carter Hansen's 4th strikeout. Brings up pitcher and designated hitter Jeremiah Gustad. On deck, third baseman and leadoff hitter Noah Hansen. Gustad, just like he throws, his bat's left-handed. That is inside, 1-0. Pitch laced over to Connor Peterson. Easy throw over to first, and he stayed on, and that will be the second out of the inning. Throw went a little high on Connor, but Moskowitz recovered, and that's a 6-3 put out for the second out of the inning. That brings up leadoff hitter and third baseman Noah Hansen. Hansen grounded out to Connor Peterson to start the game for Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin. First pitch out of the zone, 1-0. That's in for a strike, 1-1. Now Carter Hansen, he is our 5-star communications Vermillion Sportscaster Scholarship winner for the boys this year. Madigan Wallen won it for the girls. Here's a grounder over to Trey Hansen. Scooped up cleanly over to Moskowitz for an easy 1, 2, 3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. At the end of 3, it's Vermillion 4. Irene-Wakonda Gayville-Volin nothing. We'll be back with the 4th inning after this. This is Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Nice.
Maytag appreciates a compliment, but this Maytag washer isn't just eye candy.
Wow.
Inside, it's got the capacity and power to handle even the mightiest load.
I love this.
Yeah, she's a beaut.
It's a he.
Products and the industry's best appliances at your local dealer. Murph's Appliance, downtown Vermillion.
In a situation like this, the first thing you do, of course, is make sure everybody's okay. And then you're thinking, you better call your insurance person. No, just call Justin. At Vermillion Auto Works, you see Justin handles all the insurance claims and gives free quotes. Not everybody does the free quote thing anymore, you know. So call Justin at Vermillion Auto Works. He'll take care of the situation. Carrying WeatherTech, Rough Country, and Tuxedo. Vermillion Auto Works.
Interior technicians.
Jerry, baby, I got a great idea for your next commercial. You're in a jungle with a dinosaur, looking for an outlet for your vacuum.
A dinosaur? No, I said Intech has over 30 cleaning. You know, like office buildings, ensuring happy visitors and a healthy workforce.
Commercial buildings? I think I can work with that, Jerry. I'm gonna make you a star.
Oh my goodness. When you need it clean, call the Intech team.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Wakonda Gayville-Volin is Elliot Jorgensen. Moving over to first is Jeremiah Gustad, and I believe now catching is number 7, Caden Ganschow. First batter up for Vermillion is Mikey Robe. That is laced down the third baseline foul. 0-1 here in the top of the fourth. Vermillion leading 4-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. So 0-1 count. It'll be Mikey Robe, Connor Peterson, and Trey Hansen for the Tanagers. That pitch is high, 1-1. That ball's laced down the third baseline between third and short into left field for a single for Mikey Robe. Robe's the team's 6th hit, puts a runner at first. That brings up shortstop Connor Peterson, number 1. Again, he'll be playing baseball at Mount Marty next season. Right now he has no official at-bats. He sacrificed and walked. First pitch. Get on deck, second baseman Trey Hansen. Robe gets a lead. So now runners on first and second. Trey Hansen reached on an error in the first and walked in the second. On deck is first baseman Jack Moskowitz. And if you're watching and you're a Gayville-Volin fan, Gayville-Volin softball defeated Avon earlier today. That was a battle of top 6 teams in Class B. Now next Monday, we're figuring teams in Class B. Now next Monday, we're figuring something out. If you're interested in broadcasting a game, Gayville-Volin is hosting Alcester-Hudson in softball in both Vermillion and action. So both Zach and myself are pulling duty. So if you'd like to call a softball game, give us a call. We'll give you some quick training, and you can call Gayville-Volin and Alcester-Hudson, really 2 of the top 3 teams in Class B. All right, ball 1 to Trey Hansen. That is low, 2-0. So runners on, they have it 3-0. Sorry, they had the scoreboard wrong. 3-0 to Trey Hansen. Bases will be loaded if he gets a ball here. And that is out of the zone. So Trey Hansen moves down to first, Peterson to second, and Mikey Robe to third. So bases loaded. Nobody out for to third. So bases loaded. Nobody out for Jack Moskowitz. He's lined out to short. Here's the pitch from Jorgensen. And that is ball 4, or ball 1, 1-0. One and one. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That's lifted into left field, just over the shortstop's head. A nice attempt there by Caden Weary, but that single by Moskowitz will score two, as Robe comes in from third, Peterson comes in from second, Trey Hansen pulls in third, and Moskowitz stays at first with a 2-run single. So runners at first and third, now 6-0 in favor of Vermillion on 7 hits here in the top half of the 4th inning. That brings up catcher Tate Haig. Nobody out, runners at first and third. He has walked and flown out to center field. Pitch is low. On deck is pitcher Carter Hansen. Ball 2, 2-0. Just a reminder, tonight on ESPN AM, Minnesota Timberwolves pregame starts at 8, tip-off at 8:30. Game finals with the Golden State Warriors. That pitch is lifted high. That'll stay in the infield. No, the wind kind of carried that one, and so Brady that, and so that is the first out of the inning. Tate Haig stayed at third, so 1 down now. Runners still at first and third for pitcher Carter Hansen. On deck, third baseman Hayden Christofferson. Then tomorrow on At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, we will have Trey Young, the pole vaulter from USD, currently leading the Summit League, top 20 in the nation in pole vaulting. Also Mason Sindelar, who just broke the school record in the outdoor 800. That's in for a strike. 1-1 on Carter. Morningside to play basketball in the fall. That's a little high, 2-1. But he's got a lot of baseball to play between now and then. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Jorgensen. And that is grounded over to third. Second for 1, and not in time to get Carter at first. Trey Hansen scores on the fielder's choice. So Moskowitz taken out, and Trey Hansen scores, making it 7-0. With a runner at first and now 2 down. Again, that brings up Hayden Christofferson, the third baseman. He grounded out to short in the first and singled in the third. Carson Preister is on deck. Carter Hansen takes off. Here's the throw down to second, and that will not be in time. Carter Hansen is safe at second with the stolen base. Puts himself in scoring position. That pitch was high, so ball 1, 1-0. I know they gave him a strike. I apologize, 0-1. That is high, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 on. That is high and inside, 2-1. Again, Vermillion leads 7-0. Scoreboard is incorrect out there, if you can see it. I don't know that you can, but score is 7-0. That pitch is a ball, 3-1. Again, on deck, left fielder Carson Preister. And Hayden Christofferson walks. Ball does get past the catcher, so Carter advances to third. So now runners at first and third with here in the top half of the 4th inning. Vermillion leading 7-0. That brings up Carson Preister, who walked in the third and flew out to center field in the second. On deck is the top of the order and Nolan Nygren. My Minnesota Twins have won 8 in a row, as of the St. Louis Cardinals. There's a fake throw over to first. Chicago Cubs, they are league. There's a throw down to second, and will be safe. So now runners at second and third, eliminating the force other than first base. So ball one, 1-0. That's laced into left field. That should score 2 runs. Christopherson does not hesitate, rounding third, and he will slide in safely. And Preister will head into second. So that is a single for Preister. Reaches second on the throw. That's a 2-run single, making it 9-0 in favor of Vermillion with 8 hits now. That brings up Nolan Nygren and the top of the order. Nygren, the 9th player to bat this inning for Vermillion. Pitch is lifted into shallow right field, and that will drop in for a hit. Preister, he's going to come home. It does get past the right fielder, and that will allow Nolan to get to second. So that will be a single for Nolan Nygren. And he reaches second on the error. So that makes it, scoreboard out there still has it 9-0, but that's okay. So Mikey Robe comes up. He has singled, doubled, and homered. First pitch to him is a strike, 0-1. Ooh, in for strike 2, 0-2 to Mikey Robe. On shortstop, Connor Peterson. Again, Robe is a triple away from the cycle, and that is hit out of play. Count remains 0-2. Robe singled in the doubled in the first inning, homered in the second, and singled in the fourth. Well, he singled to lead off this inning. So a triple here would get him the cycle. We'll see if he can get that. 0-2 pitch is high, 1-2. He's also scored 3 runs on the day. And timeout taken. Catcher wants to talk to the pitcher, make sure their signals are correct. So Robe goes down to get the gloves from the first base coach. Hey, how are you? No, that's okay. Everyone else is. All right, so they have the signals correct. Jorgensen gets ready to pitch. Caden Ganschow. The 0-2 pitch is fouled back. Count remains 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That is the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, Vermillion does score 6 runs. Hey, how's it going? I do have them down for 6 runs. They just said it's 9-0. I have 10-0, but we'll see. It was 6 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, with 1 runner left on base. At the end of 3.5, I have Vermillion 10, Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin 0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th after these messages. This is Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
Hey Hey kids, it's never too early to start planning for your future. Did you know Masaba provides scholarships and tuition assistance? They are committed to your success, offering engineering, drafting, and welding opportunities, plus scholarships, job shadowing, and mentorship programs. Learn more at masabainc.com/career. When I grow up, I want to work at Masaba.
Masaba Manufacturing. Unlock your future and rock with us.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. The first pitch to Ethan Richard is a ball, 1-0. That pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Ball is chopped down the third baseline. Fielded there by Hayden Christopherson. Nice throw to Moskowitz to get him at first. Nice play by Hayden Christopherson at third. Fielded it cleanly, got up, sharp, accurate throw. So that was a quick out, a 5-3 put out to start the inning. 1 up, 1 down. Brings up now pitcher Elliot Jorgensen. On deck is catcher Caden Ganschow. Swing and a miss. Strike one, 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two, 0-2. That ball lifted high, foul, and that will just not quite make it out, but it hits the top of the fence and rolls back in. Count remains 0-2. So here's the 0-2 pitch from Carter to Jorgensen. That is lifted into right center field, and that will drop for a single by Elliot Jorgensen. Second hit of the game for Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin. That brings up Caden Ganschow. Ganschow started off at first. He's now catching. Jorgensen steps out. Have a courtesy runner, number 3. I don't know that I have a full lineup from Irene-Wakonda. It's Isaac Logue is courtesy running. There's Carter's first pitch to Caden Ganschow, and that is a strike, 0-1. That pitch is lifted high, down the third base line. Christopherson gets underneath it, collects it. Logue gets back to first. So that is 2 down here in the bottom half of the fourth. And they have adjusted the scoreboard. It does now say 10-0. So I knew all they had to do was ask. So here's the pitch from Carter Hansen to Brody Jonke. That is ball 1, 1-0. Carter's just having a really efficient day today. He's given up 2 hits, no walks. He has 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Just off the outside corner, makes it 2-0. When you think pitching for Vermillion, first obviously you think of Moskowitz, you think of Vitt, you think of maybe Nygren and Hayden Christopherson, but man, Carter's got some nice stuff. Not a hard thrower, but he has movement. That one has a ball as well, though. 3-0. I know Connor Peterson, I believe somebody said he'd been dealing with a little bit of arm soreness, so not been pitching too much. That one's lifted high. That's going to stay in the infield. Trey gets underneath it for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 4, it's Tanagers 10, Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin 0. We'll be back with the 5th inning after these messages. This is Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank.
At Voyage Federal Credit Union, we believe in giving back to the community that supports us. That's why our employees make it a priority to volunteer their time and talents to make a difference. Whether it's improving local causes, fighting hunger, or supporting our local zoo, our team is dedicated to making a positive impact in us. We're more than just a financial institution. We're a part of the community, working together to make it a better place for everyone. Your community, your credit union. Voyage Federal Credit Union.
Jordan Kirkman here from downtown Vermillion's American Family Insurance Office. We love being part of the community and want to help with your insurance needs. So stop in today and see me, Jordan Kirkman, sales specialist with Buchelman & Associates, located at 112 West Main Street, or call 605-624-2025. And if you're in Yankton, be sure to stop by our new office there as well. Go Tannagers and go Yotes.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done in customer testimonials.
For over 40 years, your cooling contractor has been Larry's Heating and Cooling. How did they stay in business that long? The customers know they stand behind their work. They offer top quality name brand equipment, and no one matches Larry's pricing when compared to the other local Lennox dealers based in Iowa. Larry's is $2,000 less for the same equipment. Not a Larry's customer? When you're ready to upgrade, trust Larry's. Honest prices, no gimmicks, and reliable service. Larry's Heating and Cooling, Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. I'm Michael Schumacher. And on the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 10-0 as we enter the fifth inning. Jacob Larson will come to bat for Connor Peterson. Larson, a left-handed batter, steps in. Now pitching for Irene-Wakonda, it's Tim Pacheco. I believe that is the only position change. I don't believe anyone moved anywhere. So Jacob Larson steps in. Left-handed batter. Gets ready to face Pacheco. Winds and delivers. That is inside, and I believe that hit Jacob. Yeah, so Jacob is aboard, hit by a pitch. He heads down to first. So Connor Peterson will go in to run for Jacob Larson. Now, Larson batted in Peterson's spot, so Peterson will be on first. And Jacob Larson, who is on base percentage with a hit by a pitch. Hansen reached on an error, has walked twice, scored a run. It's not Trey, it's Corbin Heckens. Thank you. It's a tall, skinny kid. I didn't see a number, so... Exactly. The red helmet does me no favors. Corbin Heckens, that pitch gets past the catcher, and Connor Peterson will head down to second. Here you go, Corbin. See, the fans know I'm an idiot, so thank you so much. That is ball one. Corbin often in there as a pinch runner or courtesy runner, getting a chance to bat here. Tim Pacheco comes set, comes home, and that is outside. 2-0. We're 2-1. So Corbin Heckens getting his first at-bat of the game. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ooh, that dropped in for a strike. Even at 2-2. That pitch in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Peterson heading down to third, and he will be there without a throw. So, full count on Heckens. Connor Peterson at third. Vermillion trying to get an insurance run because if they lead by 10 after the bottom of this inning, the varsity game will be over. And JV to play after. Pacheco comes home on the payoff pitch. That is ball 4. Corbin Heckens is aboard. Now puts runners at first and third. So Ryan Vitt comes in to bat for Jack Moskowitz. Vitt had a nice pitching performance the other night. He's facing Pacheco here. Pacheco comes set, working from the stretch. That pitch is outside, 1-0. On deck is number 11, I believe, Matt Robe. That pitch is high, 2-0. That pitch is high, 3-0. So runners on first and third, nobody out here in the top half of the fifth inning. Tim Pacheco is on the mound now. And Corbin Heckens in safely, but it did not matter. It was a walk to Ryan Vitt. Some bases are now loaded. That brings up number 11, Matt Robe. So Vitt on first, Heckens on second, Peterson on third, Matt Robe at bat, left-handed batter, and that gets behind Robe, and runners will advance. That will make the score 11-0. So count is 1-0 now with runners at second and third. Vermillion leading 11-0 on the Masaba scoreboard. That's in for a strike, 1-1. That pitch is lifted into shallow right center field, and that is a single for Matt Robe, and run will score. So that is a single for Matt Robe. That's the 10th hit of the game, 12th run of the game for Vermillion. Runners now at first and third with nobody out. Here's the pitch from ball 2, 2-0. That ball's in the dirt, 3-0. That's in for a strike, 3-1. So Duke Job, 3-1 count. 4 on 4 balls. Grant Rohrig will step in to bat for Hayden Christofferson. So we'll take a quick break. This time out brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Vermillion leads 12-0, bases loaded, nobody down here in the top half of the fifth.
At Knutson Family Dentistry in Vermillion, they believe a healthy smile opens doors. From routine checkups to cosmetic treatment, their friendly team is there to make your dental experience comfortable and enjoyable. With state-of-the-art technology and a compassionate approach, they ensure your visit is quick and pain-free.
I love my new smile. Thank you, Knutson Family Dentistry.
Knutson Family Dentistry will make your smile shine. Call and schedule your appointment today at Knutson Family Dentistry and discover the difference your smile can make.
The Pizza Ranch Vermillion is your event headquarters. Enjoy the crisp salad bar, the country's best chicken, and fresh pizza. Want a custom pizza? Just ask. We are proud to offer the buffet your way. And the Fun Zone Arcade features 36 games, 2 golf simulators, and full bar. Perfect for pregame tailgates and parties. Have a business meeting, team, or office party? Reserve the Dakota Center. It holds up to 300 people. Order online at pizzaranch.com for delivery, or circle your wagons and make Pizza Ranch your tailgate place next to USG. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Vermillion is proud to support local athletics like USD and the Tanagers. The DQ Fall flavors are in, and DQ has great food at great prices. Get a $7 meal deal. Choose from a cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken basket with fries, a drink, and a sundae for only $7. Got an office team party or birthday party? If you want to celebrate, don't bake, buy a DQ cake. And DQ supports the Sanford Chill Network. So after the game, take your team for a thrill to the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill, 905 East Cherry Street, Vermillion, South Dakota.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Now pitching for Irene-Wakonda. Gayville-Volin is second baseman. Brody will be playing where when they come back out there, but Brody Jonke is now the pitcher. This timeout was brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. So it does look like Pacheco is going over to third. Now playing short is Noah Hansen. We also have a new second baseman. New second baseman is Isaac Logue. So Grant Rohrig batting for Carson. Foul tip by Grant. 0-1. Ball 1, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Grant Rohrig. Pitch gets away from the catcher, but nobody advances. 2-1. Foul tip, 2-2. That's in for called strike 3. That is the first out of the inning. Tanner Steckelberg checks in for Carson Preister. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3 out. Nobody advancing on the pass ball. So that is ball 4 to Tanner Steckelberg. So that makes the score 13-0. That's in for a strike. 1-1. Nesmith. Okay, thank you. So Teddy Nesmith is up to bat. So 2 balls, 1 strike. And it does look like Mikey Robe will bat on deck. That is ball 3. 3-1. For Nesmith, it was a walk. That will score another run, making it 14-0 in favor of Vermillion. Brings up Mikey Robe. Robe has singled, doubled, homered, and struck out, so he's 3 for 4. Again, he would love to get a triple here just to kind of complete the cycle. First pitch to Robe is a strike, 0-1. Pitch is fouled off and out of play, 0-2. All 1-2. Pitch is fouled off. Ball 2, got past the catcher, 2-2, no runners advanced. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mikey Robe. Again, a triple away from the cycle. That's laced into left field. That will be a single, and that will score a run. So that brings up Connor Peterson. That pitch gets past the catcher, 1-0. So we have 1 out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Pitch is popped up into shallow center field. Catch is made out there. Nobody advances. And so that is a fly out as Jet Cookta catches that out in center field for the 2nd out of the inning. That will bring up Corbin Heckens, batting in the place of Trey Hansen. First pitch to Corbin is a ball, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0. Ball 4. Corbin Heckens is aboard with a walk, his second walk.
You haven't had a chance to go to the concession stand yet. Thanks to Kim and Kevin for having the best concession stand around. Brought some burgers from the butcher shop and homemade donations with that Kevin raises.
Truckers, commercial fleet, car owners, when you need a DOT inspection, you need a battery, oil change, diagnostic, or specialized tire service for farm, auto, and heavy equipment, JFI will get your vehicle repaired and washed and back on the road. JFI proudly supports Vermillion Tanagers, the community of Vermillion, in business for nearly 100 years. JFI is the best, and that's no lie. JFI 1218 Compton Court, Vermillion.
This timeout being brought to you by Main Street in Vermillion. Now pitching, number 7, Caden Ganchow. Isaac come out brought to you by Murph's Appliance on Main Street in Vermillion. Right now on the Mesaba scoreboard, Vermillion leads 16-0. We'll be back with more after these messages from our Vermillion sportscasters.
Are you ready to start a career with an exciting team? Thermobond is looking to add to our team of experts. We offer competitive wages, a positive work environment, and on-the-job training. Thermobond is headquartered in Elk Point, South Dakota, and for over 30 years we've been providing lightweight and precast solutions for multiple industries nationwide. Check us out and see if you'd like to start a new career with us today.
Welcome to Runnings in Vermillion. Shop their great lineup of clothes for women, names like Ariat and Carhartt for men, boots and shoes and kids' clothing. Runnings has a large supply of animal food and accessories. Love the outdoors? See the selection of ammo, firearms, and fishing equipment. For everything you need, walk through the doors at Runnings, your home, farm, and outdoor store, Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Ryan Vitt now batting. First pitch to Vitt is a ball, 1-0. 2-0. That's in for a strike, 2-1. So bases are loaded. 6 runs have come across this inning. That pitch is lifted high, foul, will stay in play, but nobody can get to it. Makes the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bases loaded here in the top half of the 5th. Matt Robe is on deck. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Payoff pitch coming up. Fouled off. Count remains 3-2. So Ganschow, left-handed pitcher, on the mound right now. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Can't run down to first with somebody on base. So that will do it. That is the 5th inning. 6 runs on 3 hits. No errors. 3 runners left on base. At the end of 4.5, it's Vermillion 16. Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin nothing. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th after these messages on your Vermillion Sportscasters. This is Tanager Baseball.
I'm Blaine Olson, owner of Blaine's Body Shop in Vermillion. I grew up here, graduated here, and now have a business here. I'm proud to serve the community that has helped me live this dream. I have top-notch equipment, the latest in training, along with a work ethic and the desire to serve you. Should you need repairs in the future, please remember Blaine's Body Shop across from Polaris on the Highway 50 bypass in Vermillion.
Blaine's Body Shop. Automotive collision repair.
Now online at blainesbodyshop.com.
Get the finest wood in the neighborhood. Down at the lumberyard. Down at the lumberyard.
But it's not just wood at the lumberyard. With a wide variety of quality building materials, the folks at the lumberyard can help you with all of your project needs. Whether it be paint, siding, cabinets, windows, or of course lumber, the lumberyard is ready to help. The best wood in the neighborhood at the lumberyard, 1000 West Cherry Street in Vermillion. Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals are your locally owned and operated ready mix and rental companies available in both Yankton and Vermillion. The Oshkosh front discharge mixers allow for easy placement of concrete and they're nearly unstoppable. More of a do-it-yourself fan? You can also get all your hand tools, mini excavators, skid steers, aerial lift equipment, and more for any job you need to get done. Choose Midwest Ready Mix and Clark's Rentals as your concrete and rental equipment headquarters of Yankton and Vermillion.
Welcome back to Vermillion Tanager Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Leading off for Irene-Wakonda, Gayville-Volin, it's Jet Kukta. First pitch from Carson Preister is high. Ball 1, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. So it's Carson Preister on the mound. Tate Haig behind the plate still. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. In the field, you have Corbin Heckens at first. That's laced into right field. And it will drop in for a hit. That'll be a single out there. That is the 3rd hit of the game for Irene-Wakonda. Brings up Isaac Kruger. Pitch is lifted high, foul, and out of play. 0-1. On deck, Caden Weary. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just outside, 1-1. Two and 1. Foul down the third base line, evens the count at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the first out of the inning. So with Kukta still at first, Preister will now face Isaac Logue. Logue steps in for his first at-bat. First pitch, nice save by Tate Haig. Keeps Kukta at first. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 on, 1 out. That's inside. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Preister to Logue. That's in. No, that is a ball. 3-1. Ball 4. And that puts runners at first and second. Brings up number 17, Jeremiah Gustad. Gustad, a left-handed batter. Steps up here. Preister winds and delivers. Ball 1, 1-0. That's laced into center field. That will be fielded there by Robe. Here's a throw over to third. And they get Kukta at third. Wow, hit of the game. Runners still at first and second. And that brings up Noah Hansen. Nice job by Robe on the throw. It's inside, 1-0. Ball 2, 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0. Ball 4. Walks the bases, loaded. That brings up number 35, Carter Barron. To face Carson Preister. Preister winds and delivers. Popped up. Preister gets underneath on the mound, and that will be it. That is the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits. No hit, no errors. At the end of the game, Vermillion wins by a score of 16-0. So Vermillion will be in action again tomorrow night at home against Dakota Valley. We will have that game here on Vermillion Tanagers on YouTube. Well, from Lars Anderson Field in Irene, South Dakota, I'm Michael Schumacher. And we want to thank you for joining us for this broadcast of Vermillion Tanagers Baseball, brought to you by First Dakota National Bank. Scoreboard sponsor was Masaba. The timeout sponsors, Murph's Appliance, along with Fast Auto Glass. We want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow night from Prentice Park in Vermillion. You guys have a great night. Remember, Minnesota Timberwolves pregame starts in about 45 minutes on ESPN Radio. Tip-off at 8:30. That is Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. Minnesota and Golden State. So we hope you'll tune in for that. We are your home for Minnesota Timberwolves postseason basketball. We're also going to be broadcasting Minnesota Lynx basketball beginning on Friday with game number 1 against the Dallas Wings. Dallas Wings, the new home of Paige Beckers. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you later. And I should mention Dakota Valley, but Vermillion Tanager softball takes on Gayville-Volin. On Thursday, we'll also have that matchup. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.